Hey guys, it's your friend Gare back to do another video for you guys. And today I really want to talk about some games that I would really like to see either remastered or remade. Now, this is a video I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I planned on doing this about a year ago, but at the time, it seems like every time I sat down to actually make a list to do this, it was either announced that, one of these games were in the works to be redone, or they were coming out right about the same time. So I was constantly having to redo my list, kind of rethink things, and I think at this point, I just want to get this done, get it out there. Otherwise, it's always going to be in works. It's always going to be getting postponed, and it's something really exciting to me. I really want to talk about with you guys. So we'll talk about that. I'll kind of give you guys some ideas of what I'd like to see, and I'd also love to see what you guys would really like to see done. Now, as I was going through this list, I noticed all the games that I've chosen for this video are Nintendo related, and 95% of them are GameCube. I don't know why that is. I think it's because the GameCube had so much potential at the time. It just, what was available hardware-wise, it didn't live up to its full potential. And then if you look at like the PS2 and a lot of other systems, they've done a really good job of doing all these HD remasters or remakes. So I think the GameCube just has a ton of potential that hasn't really been touched on. So keep that in mind. I'll try to do future videos with a little bit more diversity, but these are just the ones that I kind of came up with off the top of my head just to kind of talk about with you guys. So with that in mind, I just wanted to kind of have that out there while we talk about this, because all the games that I'm going to talk about today are just games I want to see remastered. They're new enough. They definitely don't need remakes. They just need to have HD graphics to really make them come alive. Alright, so the first game I'm going to talk about here, this is a trilogy that I've actually not played very much myself, but from what I did play, it was absolutely fantastic, and that is the Metroid Prime Trilogy. Now, I played this a little bit on the GameCube when it first came out. My friend in high school had a GameCube, so I'd go over, I'd watch him play it mostly. Every once in a while I'd play it, but yeah, it's a really great series of games, and I've played it on... One thing you guys will hear me talk about a lot is the Dolphin Emulator, which is an emulator for the PC that allows you to play Wii and GameCube games. And what's great about it is if you have a powerful enough PC, it'll upscale the graphics. So, it'll smooth out all the jagged edges and make it really look HD. So this is one of the games I've played on there, and it looks so incredibly fantastic. It looks so much better, it was already a great looking game. But yeah, it's got a lot of potential to really come alive with HD graphics, and if they could, do surround sound and all that good stuff, it would be such an amazing experience. So this is one I'd really like to see. I'm glad they did port this to the Wii, so you could have the motion controls. I really like that aspect of it. But yeah, if they could improve the graphics on it and the sound, that would be absolutely fantastic. Alright, next up, this is one of my all-time survival horror, screw with your mind kind of games, and that is Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem. This is a game I didn't play until last year, and I definitely missed out because it is a freaking weird game. It's really creepy. It really screws with your mind. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys if you've never played it, but definitely if you're into that kind of thing, go play this. It is a lot of fun. But unfortunately, again, it really suffers from the graphical limitations in which they had at the time. So again, I did play this on the emulator to kind of upscale it just to see what it looked like. And again, it looked so much better. The graphics it really came alive. And again, because of the settings in which you're in, if they could improve the sound, do like a 5.1 surround sound sort of thing, it would really put you into the game a lot more, make it a lot creepier. So yeah, if they could do that at some point, that would be amazing. I have to say, I've been really impressed. They've done a great job with remastering and remaking a lot of these survival horror games. For the GameCube, they did the Resident Evil remake, which is just so incredibly amazing on its own, even in the GameCube system itself. But then they also remastered the remake, which it just blows my mind how fantastic it turned out. They're remaking Resident Evil 2 soon, so I'm really excited about that. That's got a ton of potential to look just absolutely incredible. So I'm really excited to see that. And it's also with the Silent Hill 2, 3, and 4, I think it was. They did a really good remaster of that for the PS3 and the Xbox 360. So yeah, I'm really impressed with that, so hopefully they'll keep the trend going and keep working on some of these older games. Okay, so next on the list, this is a game I love playing, especially in the summertime. It's just got a really good vibe to it. It makes you happy. I don't see how anybody could play this and not feel happy. until they get to the levels where they take your jetpack away, that's another story. But that's Super Mario Sunshine. I'm sure you guys knew what I was talking about. It's just, it's a very different Mario, but I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorites. Not only because of the gameplay, but the graphics. You know, it's in a tropical island setting, so there's really blue skies, really white clouds. The ocean is really beautiful. It's just a very gorgeous game to look at, much like Wind Waker. And again, you know, it looks okay on the GameCube. It's not that bad. But when you play this on an emulator and you're able to upscale it to, you know, 1080p, really make it look pretty, it looks so absolutely amazing. It's like you know, experiencing it for the first time all over again. The cutscenes are very ugly. It doesn't match at all the gameplay, which is kind of weird. You would think the cutscenes would look prettier than the gameplay, but the gameplay looks absolutely gorgeous. Cutscenes look horrible, but again, this is one I really see them doing this one soon. It's a favorite of many. A lot of people, I think, have been really demanding to see this remastered. Not only that, but for a sequel. So I would really love to see this remastered in HD. Okay, so on to the last couple of games here. I really tried to limit this to like one per franchise, but both of these games are so wonderful, in my opinion, in different ways, which we'll talk about here in a couple minutes. So first up, for the GameCube, I would really love to see The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess remastered. This is it's arguably my favorite Zelda game, because it's very creative. It's a very dark game, which I absolutely love that about Zelda. Don't get me wrong, I love, you know, Wind Waker, how colorful and pretty and upbeat it is, but I really like this really dark kind of, not gothic, it's kind of hard to explain, but I really like this style of Zelda games, and I really like to see more of it in the future. But this game, it's so good on its own. The graphics, you know, once again on the GameCube, it's really blocky, it's really, you know, there's a lot of jagged edges. But when you play this on an emulator and upscale it, it's like experiencing it for the first time. It's like playing a whole new game. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it's really made me feel like, you know, like I'm playing it for the first time again. So I think if they did a proper HD remaster of this, it would draw in a lot of new... I don't know, it would pull in a lot of new fans of this game, and hopefully we could see more like this in the future. So that's definitely what I'd like to see. Now this next one is probably going to get a lot of flack about, because not a lot of people are crazy about it, but that is Skyward Sword, which came out for the Wii. This game, again, I know there's a lot of people that dislike it. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. You know, there was a lot of quirky things about it, a lot of things I didn't fully agree with, but the gameplay was really good in my opinion. It really had me gripped from the beginning to end. I mean, it was good enough. I went for 100% completion, and one thing I really loved about it is I love the graphics on it. You know, it's one of those Zelda games. It's very, you know, it's got an upbeat feel to it that's got a lot of colors that makes you feel happy, but there's also moments where there's a lot of darkness, a lot of, you know, kind of Twilight Princess elements to it, which I really enjoy. So again, you know, this is one of the games I played on the emulator. And again, it made everything look so much better. The sky was bluer, the clouds looked like they had a lot more texture. It looked great. I mean, I was really happy to play it. And it's a game that I definitely look forward to playing again all over on the emulator, just to see how pretty it looks through the whole thing. Because especially once you get towards the end of the game, there's some really gorgeous environments that you can interact with. So I would really love to see this remastered as well. So before we start, guys, there's one thing I just kind of want to lay out on the table, and that's the difference between remaster and remake, because for the last many years, I've been using the terms interchangeably, because I guess I didn't think there was a difference. I never put much thought into it, but Happy Console Gamer was talking about this, and there is a pretty big difference, and after, you know, thinking about it more, it makes sense. So a remake is where they take a game and they just completely start from the ground up, you know, like, so if you take Resident Evil for the GameCube, all new graphics, all new gameplay mechanics, everything. They just start from the ground up and completely redo it. A remaster is where they take the core game and just basically make it look pretty. They upscale the graphics, make it look nicer, but they don't change any of the gameplay, basically. There may, I guess, maybe be a few tweaks here and there just to fix a few problems, but you're not going to see much changes, if any at all. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope, you know, you guys kind of agreed with some of the games that I chose. So let me know, you know, what games you guys really want to see remade, remastered, any of that stuff. I will definitely try to do a follow-up video where I talk about more. And again, try to have a little bit more diversity, like Dreamcast, Saturn, PS2, stuff like that. These are, like I said, I just kind of threw these off the top of my head. These are the first ones that I came up with, and they just happened to all be GameCube and Wii games. So again, thank you guys so very much for watching. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.